Chapter 11 is transportation in animals and plants. Firstly, you should know what is transportation. Transportation, as I told you, is the transfer of materials from one place to another. Now, why we require a transportation medium? As you know, we all are multicellular organisms. Multicellular organism means we are having millions or billions of cells in our body, and the number of materials that move in and out of the body is also very large. The distance over which these materials are to be transported is also very large. Therefore, these organisms require a specialized system to carry all these materials from one part of the body to another part. Therefore, we human beings have developed a circulatory system which carries different substances from one part of the body to another part. In human beings, digested food, water and oxygen are transported to all parts of the body. Waste products are also transported from all parts of the body, which are to be removed through kidneys. So this chapter mainly consists of circulatory system and excretory system. Firstly, I will explain about circulatory system. In human beings, the transport of substances is done with the help of circulatory system. The circulatory system carries the blood from the heart to different parts of the body and brings it back to the heart, and it mainly consists of three parts: heart, blood vessels and blood. Here is shown the diagram which is showing the circulatory system in human beings. It consists of blood vessels, it consists of arteries, veins and capillaries, which I will describe later on in this video. In this diagram, the blue color are the veins and red color are the arteries. In the same way, heart act like a pumping organ in human beings, which help in transport of blood so that it may carry all the substances from one part to another. It mainly consists of four chambers, or we can say human heart is divided into four parts: right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle and left ventricle. The complete structure I will explain later on in next video. Now firstly, what is blood? Blood is a liquid connective tissue. Why it is called connective tissue? Because it connects the different parts of the human being. So we can say blood is a liquid connective tissue. It is circulated throughout the body by the pumping action of heart. Blood is essential an aqueous solution which mainly consists of blood cells and plasma. So we can say blood transports substances in the body. It has a fluid part called plasma and cells like red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. The first cell which are present in the blood, that is red blood cells. These are red color due to presence of a pigment called hemoglobin. Why red blood cells are red in color? Because when hemoglobin combines with oxygen, it forms oxyhemoglobin, due to which the color of the blood becomes red. That's why these are called red blood cells. These are also called erythrocytes. Second cells which are present in the blood are white blood cells, which are also called leukocytes. These white blood cells act like the soldiers of the body and fight against germs and protect us from the diseases. So we can say these white blood cells are very important for the protection of body against germs. Third one is platelets. Platelets help in blood clotting. If we are injured and blood flows out, after some time it stops. So stoppage of bleeding is due to presence of different types of cells called platelets in the blood. Beside these, blood also consists of different types of proteins like albumins, globulin and fibrinogen, which perform different functions in the blood. And the plasma is the fluid part, or we can say solution part of the blood. Sometime you have heard even about the term blood serum. There is a protein called fibrinogen. When this protein is removed from the plasma, now the remaining part is called the serum. So we can say, in short, blood mainly consists of plasma and three types of cells along with different proteins The cells which are present in the blood are red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets, and plasma is the fluid or we can say liquid part of the blood. And if I talk about blood serum which is used for different tests, it means when we remove the fibrinogen protein from the plasma, the remaining part of plasma is called blood serum, and these cells help in different functions, in performing different functions in blood. Plasma also help in transport of materials from one part to another. Now next topic is blood vessels. Blood vessels, there are three types of blood vessels. Number one is arteries, number two veins, and number three is capillaries. Firstly, arteries. Arteries are those blood vessels which carry oxygen rich blood from the heart to all the parts of the body, and they have thick walls. So we can say arteries are those blood vessels which contain oxygenated blood, and they generally move from the heart to different parts of the body. Second one is veins. Veins carry carbon dioxide rich blood from all parts of the body to the heart. It means they are those blood vessels which mainly consist of CO2 rich blood, and they have thin walls. And the capillaries are very thin blood vessels which join arteries and veins together. This is the basic difference given in this table. If difference between artery, vein and capillaries are, then arteries are thick walled, veins are thin walled, and capillaries are also thin walled. Arteries carry oxygen rich blood from the heart to different parts of the body, whereas veins carry carbon dioxide rich blood from different organs to the heart. It means the direction of flowing of veins is different from the direction of arteries. And capillaries are involved in the exchange of food materials, respiratory gases and body waste. Arteries are generally deep seated in the skin, and these are not visible from the upper side, whereas veins are situated just under the skin. When you observe your hands and legs, you can see certain green color or blue color blood vessels on your skin. These are actually the veins which are visible from the outside, and capillaries occur at the terminals of artery and veins. So in short, we can say capillaries are the very thin blood vessels which connect the arteries to the veins. Now there is one topic, pulse, or we can say pulse rate. Blood flows through arteries at a high pressure, causing throbbing movements called pulse. Even when you are putting your hand at another hand on this side, you can observe a type of throbbing action which is called pulse. The number of pulse beat per minute is called pulse rate, and a normal human being have pulse rate between 70 to 80 beats per minute. So if you want to, even you can put your fingers, two fingers on your another hand, you can also count down these pulse rate, which should come near about 70 to 80 times per minute. So in this way we can calculate the pulse rate. During fever, sometimes this pulse rate becomes high. Now you should also know what are the functions of blood. I am telling you in short. Blood is the vehicle for metabolic communication between different organs of the body, which help in transport of nutrients from one part to another part. Even blood carries oxygen from the lungs to the tissues, and from the tissues it brings back carbon dioxide to the lungs so that it can be released out. So in this way, blood is a very important part of our circulatory system, which help in transport of different materials from one part of the body to another part. Thank you.